Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are all staying safe and healthy out there. This is going to be a very short video, and it was motivated by a tweet that I saw from the creator of Uniswap. I've been following the Thorchain project for a little while now, and despite having an optimistic outlook on the project, I noticed that if you wanted to be a liquidity provider to optimize your gains, you would have to be in the pool for quite some time. Also, if you're very bullish on Rune and you think it could 10-20x from here, you're actually better off holding Rune than providing liquidity to one of the pools. And that got me thinking, if the token is going to capture value from the platforms or the ecosystem's growth, being pegged to assets in a 1-to-1 ratio, and with nodes having Rune bonded in a 2-to-1 ratio with non-Rune assets locked into the pools, if that's going to provide a base for the token price, but people don't like the idea of providing liquidity long-term, or perhaps they don't solve the problem of impermanent loss, and people who are bullish on Rune tokens don't want to subject their assets to impermanent loss, so they end up holding their Rune tokens rather than providing liquidity. But when I saw the tweet from Uniswap's creator, I reflected more on the project and came to the conclusion that even if the team doesn't resolve impermanent loss, this project still has high potential. And in this video, I'm going to go over a handful of reasons why I think the platform can be wildly successful despite having their users subjected to impermanent loss. And I'm leaning towards starting a Rune channel in my Discord. If you guys are interested in becoming part of a broader discussion on Thorchain and you want to bounce ideas off of like-minded individuals, I strongly urge you guys to join my Discord channel by clicking the link in the description below. Or if you'd rather not join Discord, at least give me a follow on Twitter. This way you can keep up to date with projects that I'm following, tokens I'm investing in, and along with my Discord link in the description below, you'll also be able to find a link to my Twitter profile. With the intro out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into this video. Now, I want to begin this video by being fair to the Thorchain team. I mean, it's not like they're neglecting their liquidity providers. In addition to the recent change they made with the incentive pendulum, at least on a few occasions, they have boosted the yields of a few pools by injecting a huge amount of Rune. And if you're an opportunist, you could transiently provide liquidity, take advantage of the high yield after they inject that a large amount of Rune, and then exit the pool. And when this protocol becomes more popular, I think those injections are going to become less effective, because at that point you'll have more opportunists who will take advantage of those liquidity injections and then just dip. So to help address impermanent loss in a sustainable manner, the team has now decided to add a tunable incentive pendulum. I've talked about the incentive pendulum in a previous video. You guys can reference those videos if you guys want to learn more about the incentive pendulum. But the outcome that they're looking for is more payments to LPs. And so in this first segment, I wanted to make it abundantly clear that the team isn't neglecting LPs and they're doing their best to make liquidity providers profitable. However, it's my personal opinion that even if they don't resolve impermanent loss, given that they have first mover advantage and other reasons, I think there's a good chance that this protocol is likely to be very successful. Now in this segment, I'm going to talk about the main way I think the protocol can attract a lot of liquidity in a very short period of time. And before I talk about the innovation that made AMMs very popular, especially Uniswap, let me go ahead and provide you guys with a little context when it comes to how fast these AMMs can grow. Now before September and Q1, Uniswap wouldn't be anywhere on this chart, but just within a few months, it's number 4. It passed some of the largest exchanges that we have here in the United States. It passed Coinbase, Kraken, and if DeFi continues to grow, which I think it will, unless they get a major competitor, I think collectively AMMs on Ethereum could easily catch up to Binance within the next year. And despite having fierce competition from Sushi and others, Uniswap is still doing pretty good. It still netted significant growth. A week after the liquidity mining incentives ended on the Uniswap protocol, if you compare the protocol to where it was 3 months ago, sitting at 300 million in liquidity, $150 million in daily volume, on November 22nd, it had 1.75 billion in liquidity and 430 million in volume. And if it didn't have competitors trying to leech its liquidity, it obviously would have even more liquidity and more volume. And in my opinion, aside from having first mover advantage, the big reason why I think they were widely successful was the fact that anybody could list a token. All they needed to do was seed it with some liquidity. And despite a lot of scams listing their tokens there, it was a really good place for new projects like Wi-Fi, Hedgehog, MPH to find immediate liquidity for their respective tokens. And because of that permissionless model, it ended up being the go-to place for a lot of these DeFi projects. Heck, some projects like BZRX even used it as a venue to host their ICOs. But what I think is driving a lot of the volume is the new distribution model that's developing. For example, we have this project called 88MPH. And so what they did was they seeded the pool with liquidity and they invited everybody else to do the same. And if they did that, and if they staked the liquidity tokens on the platform, in return, they'd be compensated with MPH tokens. So in other words, you help seed the pool with liquidity, and in return, they're going to give you free MPH tokens. This benefits the platform because in a relatively short period of time, their token could potentially have very deep liquidity. And it also allows them to distribute their token to earlier adopters that are actually contributing to the protocol. And I think what's going to happen after you see Ethereum, Polkadot, and Cosmos integrated into multi-chain ChaosNet, DeFi builders on those chains are going to have the opportunity to do the same thing that projects like MPH did on Ethereum and Uniswap. They'll be able to create pools, get them seeded with deep liquidity, and users who provide liquidity will be able to stake their LP tokens to earn rewards for being liquidity providers. But the question is, are they going to change up the model that they currently have for listing new pools? Are they going to become more restrictive? Because that may result in them sort of shooting themselves in the foot. Because I understand that they want to keep scams off the platform, but in my opinion, the permissionless nature of Uniswap is what really made it successful. But assuming that Thorchain has a more liberal approach to listing tokens, I think the volume on this AMM is just going to go through the roof once they integrate other chains. Now in this last segment, I wanted to talk to you guys about wallet integrations. I'm not sure if you guys have used Argent Wallet. I've done a review of that wallet in the past. You guys can check that out. But that wallet basically integrated the Kyber protocol, allowing their users to exchange ERC20 assets. And what Thorchain is going to do is they're going to integrate affiliate fees. This way, whether it's XDeFi wallet or it's Argent Wallet, they can both integrate the Thorchain protocol. And provided that the affiliate fees are integrated by the time that they go ahead and support Thorchain protocol on the respective wallets, they'll also be able to monetize the integration of Thorchain as well. And if you think about it, it's a win-win-win scenario for everybody that's involved. The platform gets to make money without the need to build a decentralized exchange infrastructure. The users get a new service that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And the Thorchain ecosystem benefits because through the wallet, you're having a new audience that's being introduced to the protocol and that has the opportunity to interact with it. And in my opinion, if this happens and it starts to get adopted pretty widely, it's basically free marketing for Thorchain. And what I think is going to happen after we get the first successful wallet integration, and other wallets who don't want to lose their moat and that want to remain competitive, they'll rush to integrate Thorchain. Because unlike all these other AMMs out there, you're going to be able to basically trade in and out all the assets that are supported on Thorchain. And I already showed you guys that plans to support Ethereum, Polkadot, Cosmos. Bitcoin should be coming by December or maybe even January. So if you've invested in the project, that's something that you guys should definitely keep an eye out for, because as soon as other wallets, platforms start integrating Thorchain, you're probably going to see something like this where the volume is slowly trending up and out of nowhere you see this explosion in volume and interest in the protocol. And in my humble opinion, once ETH gets integrated along with the handful of chains that have DeFi projects, you're probably going to see the same type of growth but magnitudes higher. And if you've watched the video to this point, it's very likely that you guys are enjoying my insights. And if you guys are interested in hearing my insights in real time versus waiting for my videos or waiting for one of my tweets, I do offer Patreon services where you can have a dialogue with me one-on-one. And even if you end up joining one of the lower tiers, you'll get a private newsletter from me, plus you'll get access to my private Discord channel where I engage with patrons on a daily basis. If you think you would be able to benefit from those services, I highly encourage you guys to check out my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below. With that being said, this is CryptoOneStop signing up. I'll talk to you folks next time. Bye.